Do you feel like you're dragging your body through the day against an invisible weight? Like just standing up takes everything you've got. And once you sit down, you never want to get up again. If the thought of everything you're supposed to do crushes you before the day even begins, then I want you to hear this. You are not lazy. And you've been lying to yourself all these years. Big time. I'm Jordan Travers. I'm a clinical psychotherapist. And today we're breaking down what decades of research actually says about laziness. Because by the end of this video, there's a good chance you won't see yourself in the same way. In 2020, researchers Martire and colleagues at the University of California published a paper in the journal Cognitive Research. They tested nearly 200 participants to answer one question. Do people fail because they're lazy or because the way we frame tasks overwhelms them? They used a classic reasoning puzzle. When participants were presented with random letters and numbers, people struggled. Only 25 to 30% got it right. Now here's where it gets interesting. The researchers ran the same exact logic, but this time it was about checking IDs at a bar. You're told if someone is drinking alcohol, they must be over 21. You see cards that say beer, 16 years old, Coke, 22 years old. Which ones do you check? Suddenly it clicks. 65 to 70% of participants get it right. Same logic, different context. And just like that, someone goes from unmotivated to clever, from not trying hard enough to actually doing just fine. Same task, same brain, different results. So what's the real reason you're tired all the time? Because it's not laziness. It's not even just burnout. It's a mismatch between what your brain can handle and what the world demands. From the way tasks are framed to how trauma rewires your nervous system, your brain is saying, I can't. And that's what this video is about. The researchers concluded it may be a mistake to infer that people who appear lazy are failing to think. People often call someone lazy to make sense of behavior that doesn't match social expectations, like working hard, being productive, or staying busy. It's less about the person and more about restoring their own sense of control. Most people don't consider things like trauma, grief, mental health, or low energy. They just assume someone's not trying because that's easier than dealing with uncertainty or the hassle of needing to look deeper. And the worst part, you internalize that same story. I guess I'm just lazy. But the word lazy rarely includes any assessment of what someone is actually going through. When you feel stuck, is your first instinct to hate yourself for it? Maybe you've felt this too. You sleep 9 or 10 hours and finally feel okay, but then you wake up feeling guilty for wasting time. You can't cram 16 hours of life into 13 hours and expect your body to cope. That's the loop that no one talks about. You rest because your body needs it. Then you punish yourself for resting. And this isn't just about sleep. It's naps, it's sitting still, it's saying no. Anything that doesn't look productive feels shameful. So even when your body is finally healing, your mind is tearing it down. You cannot chalk this up to just laziness. No, that's exhaustion layered with guilt. That's what it looks like when you've been taught that being tired is a moral flaw, when really, it's just a signal. Last year, philosopher Casper Lippert Rasmussen offered a different way of looking at so-called laziness. He described 4 types of psychological avoidance, none of which are moral failures. They are instrumental irrationality. You know what would help, but you just can't bring yourself to do it. Cognitive laziness. You care deeply, but your energy collapses before the first step. Work aversion. You avoid tasks that feel meaningless or hollow, even when they're simple. And self-deceptive laziness. You tell yourself it doesn't matter because admitting it does would hurt more. These aren't flaws. These are adaptations, not signs of failure, signs that your body, your brain, and your system is doing the only thing it knows how to do, keep you safe. And if you like the video so far, hit the pause button and make sure you tap that like. So how does this show up in your life? You sit at your desk and do nothing, not because you don't care, but because your body feels heavy, like it's underwater. You scroll for hours, then beat yourself up for wasting time without realizing your brain is begging to escape. You write the to-do list, you plan the day, but when it's time to act, nothing. A patient of mine said it best. It's like I'm watching myself fail from the outside and I can't stop it. Here's something you've probably never been told. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's grief. Grief over the fact that everything feels so hard when it shouldn't. Grief that life has asked you to carry so much with so little support. Grief that no matter how hard you try, it never feels like enough. So you freeze. And your brain spins cruel stories like, you're not going to mess up if you don't try, or you're behind already, what's the point? Or nothing ever works out for you anyways, so if you don't start, you can't fail. But the truth is, you're grieving a version of you that could have thrived if life had been safer, softer, and more supportive. And here's what else we know. In 2020, psychologists Shira Pollack and Joanna Ayers published a study in the journal Anxiety, Stress, and Coping. And what they found could explain exactly why you feel like you can't get off the couch. They asked over 50 college students to track their moods and behavior every single day for 2 weeks, morning to night. Real feelings, real patterns. What they wanted to know was this: does procrastination come first, or does something deeper cause it? And this is what they found. The more anxiety, stress, and emotional heaviness someone felt one day, the more likely they were to procrastinate the next day. But it didn't go the other way. Putting things off didn't increase stress. Stress increased procrastination. So when you're lying in bed watching time slip by, it's because your body is carrying so much emotional weight that your brain can't handle one more demand. One of the students wrote, "Some days I can't even start simple things. My body's just offline." That's not failure. That's a nervous system trying to protect itself from collapse. So how do you move forward? Well, you can't heal overnight, but you can interrupt the spiral, and here's how. Reframe the task, not yourself. Break the loop of self-blame by changing how the task is presented. Don't say, I need to finish everything. Say, I'll just open the file. One step is enough to shift momentum. Track your energy, not just your time. Start noticing when and why your energy drops. Is it after you interact with a certain person, with certain thoughts? Emotional exhaustion has patterns, and naming them gives you leverage. Treat avoidance as a message, not a moral flaw. Instead of, why am I like this? Ask, what part of me is overwhelmed right now? Every freeze response is a signal. Get curious. These steps can help you interrupt the spiral, but they won't heal the root. And if you're stuck in cycles that feel too heavy to untangle alone, that's a sign your nervous system may need more support than strategies can offer. And sometimes that's where therapy begins. I'm Jordan Travers. I'm the clinical director of Awake Therapy. And if you're ready for deeper support, the link is in the description. And I'll see you next time. Bye.